Hi, I'm Donna Bauer, the original note buyer. Thanks for joining me. Before we get started, I just want to mention if you haven't checked out my new website, you might want to do that. You want to go to thenotebuyer.com. And in particular, you might want to check out the Learning Center. And also, if you haven't already, be sure to join my list so that you'll get notices each time that I do a new blog post. Over the years, I have done all types of real estate transactions, both buying and selling, leasing, anything and everything to do with the real property, as well as all types of note deals. And I can tell you hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, that I would choose my note deals any day of the week over dealing with the real property. The secret to carefree, successful real estate investing is that you want to control the real estate without owning it. When you own the real estate, you own all the headaches that go with it. But with notes, you have all the security of the real estate without all the headaches. And that's because with notes, you never own the property. That's what makes it so much easier. You know, I can't tell you how many times people have come up to me and they say, we just got started in real estate, and after we do a couple deals, then we're going to get into notes. That's what we really want to do. And I think, my goodness, you have this completely backwards. If you're new in real estate, you ought to start with the notes. And then if you decide that you want to own the real property, you can always progress into investing in the actual property. Notes are so much easier because you don't own the property. And that means you don't have to deal with the proverbial tenants, trash, or toilets. And no termites either. And so that means you don't have to worry about 3 o'clock in the morning phone calls because the guy upstairs has a stereo on too loud. None of those issues. You don't have to deal with repairs, maintenance, and a big thing for me is no rehabs. Oh my gosh. I listen to my friends and they talk about all the trouble they have with contractors. With notes, you don't have to worry about the contractor being drunk and not showing up for the job. And with notes, there are no carrying costs, no taxes, no insurance, no water bills, no HOA fees, no property management fees. Now, if you're doing the non-performing notes, then you would want to use a servicer. But on your seller carryback notes, unless they happen to be escrowing for taxes and insurance, which really isn't that often, you really don't need a servicer, especially if you are holding the notes in your self-directed IRA. But even if you decide to use a servicer, it's a very nominal fee, maybe $15, $20 extra a month. Also with notes, there's no liability to you. So that means if someone slips and falls, you don't need to worry about it. It's the homeowner's insurance that's going to take care of that. And by the way, you also are going to make sure that you're added on as an additional mortgagee insured on that property. So if the property happens to burn down or something, you're going to get paid in full as well. So it boils down to you will have no negative cash flows, no unexpected expenses, and no headaches. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. You will be able to enjoy all of the security of a real estate investment without the headaches. Because if the borrower doesn't pay, you'll simply foreclose, and you're either going to get paid off at the sheriff's sale or the trustee's sale, or you'll wind up getting the property. So at that point in time, then you deal with the property. But as long as the borrower is paying on time, you have none of the issues of the property to deal with. if you happen to get the property back, at that point you can sell it, and usually you're going to make some extra profit on it, or you could keep it for a rental, or heck, you could move in if you wanted to. Notes are the ultimate passive income. I like to call it my mailbox money. Many of the seller finance notes are written for up to 30 years. So that will give you a nice, steady, consistent income for as long as you want. And if you happen to prefer a shorter time frame, then you want to select a balloon note, or you could just buy part of the note. I mean, that's one of the beauties of doing notes, is because you can totally tailor make a game plan that will fit your particular goals. And all the while with notes, your investment is going to be secured by real estate. You're going to get double-digit returns without all the risk of stock market investing. And I will tell you, normally I can get much higher rates of return on my notes than I could ever expect to get out of the real estate. In fact, if you go back and check out the Learning Center, the videos that are on the Learning Center on my website, or if you have the Note Buyer's Master Guide, I teach you how you can massage the notes, and you can wind up with phenomenal rates of return on your note investments that you would never get if you were investing in the real property. The bottom line is, with notes, you can get full-time profit for part-time efforts. How does that sound to you? No cash to get started with? No problem. It's much easier to buy a note with no money down. I'm not kidding. Nowadays it's very difficult to flip a property when you don't have any cash, but it's much easier to flip a note. So if you're just starting out and you need to use other people's money, then I would definitely recommend that you start with notes. Also, notes offer you liquidity. Need cash? No problem. Notes are a lot easier to sell than a property. So if you've invested in a note and all of a sudden something comes up, because let's face it, life happens. You get married, you get divorced, your children are going to college, or you want to start a business, or you want to travel, or you have medical issues. Well, if you're receiving payments on a note and you need cash, sell those payments to someone else. In fact, you don't even have to sell the whole note. You could just sell part of your payments just to raise some cash temporarily. And then after that person collects the payments, you can resume collecting the rest of your payments later. Notes are also very versatile. You can totally tailor-make a game plan that will fit your personal situation as well as your own personal goals. It doesn't matter whether you need quick cash. If you need quick cash, just flip a note. If I needed to come up with $10,000 because my kids had an emergency or something, what would I do? I would flip a note. I don't know of a faster, easier, safer way to get quick cash than to flip a note. And you can flip a performing seller carryback note or a non-performing note. It doesn't matter. Or maybe you're looking for monthly cash flow. Maybe you want to supplement your regular income, or maybe you want to totally replace your income. Well, here's what you do. You flip notes to get lump sums of money, and then you take those lump sums of money and turn around and invest them in a note. I mean, that way you've got monthly cash flow coming in. Or, this is a really cool strategy, and I'm pretty sure that this is on the videos in the Learning Center on my website. You can buy a whole note and then you can sell just part of it, and the tail end of it, you'll get to start collecting those payments. Now, this is going to happen at some point in the future, but you'll be able to create a monthly cash flow for yourself, and you don't even have any of your own money invested in it. Or maybe you want to build a portfolio of properties. I don't know of a better way to acquire properties at huge discounts than to buy the non-performing note and use it as a backdoor to acquiring the property. Once you learn how to do that, man, you'll be all over that, because really you'll get properties at much, much greater discounts than you could anywhere else, even more so than if you went to the foreclosure auction. I'm not kidding. And in addition to meeting your own personal goals, like let's say maybe you don't have any cash to get started. That's not a problem. Maybe you have tons of cash that you're wanting to invest. No problem there. You're simply going to be the investor and buy to hold. Maybe you've got facing a bankruptcy, and so you don't have any credit. It doesn't matter. You don't need credit with notes. Maybe you are a professional person and you don't have much time. That's no problem. You can invest in a note and sit back and collect the payments. Or maybe you're a school teacher, and so you've got lots of time in the summer, but not during the school year. So you could send out direct mail letters and market for seller carryback notes during the summertime, but when your work starts back up, just don't do any marketing then. I mean, it's really very cool how you can use notes to meet whatever your particular situation is and whatever your personal goals are. And best of all, you don't even need your own cash or credit to get started. The bottom line is you will absolutely love doing notes, because note buying is the all-time fastest, easiest, safest way to make huge profits in real estate. Thanks for joining me. If you want to learn more about note buying, don't forget to visit my website, thenotebuyer.com, and make sure that you sign up for our mailing list so that you can get the latest information and updates. Happy investing!